Hi, everybody. So I have some really great stuff to share with you today. Um, First up, possibly what's the most important thing I'll ever be sharing in my entire life is that on Friday I finished a 14-year process in therapy. So I'm really really proud of myself. I'm really grateful for everything I've accomplished and just for my entire life experience that's brought me to this point. Um, when I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And it basically took me all this time to just figure out how to fully master and understand who I am. And yeah, it's beyond, I'm just so happy. So I'm not going to go on and on about what borderline personality is. You can just do your own research. But basically, the therapist that I was seeing the longest for 12 years, I saw another one for 2 years. Um, at some point, and that's maybe at least 5 years ago, maybe six, maybe seven, at some point she said, instead of seeing borderline personality disorder as a disorder, as a problem, that you have to fix, as this like monster that takes over you, as how about you just see it as an aspect of yourself? How about you remove the label and you remove the word disorder, and then all you have is personality? And then how about you just figure out how to reconcile all aspects of your personality? Basically, and also, and on Friday she said, you know, um, the symptoms will manifest in different ways in everyone. And, that being said, like every single person at some point in their lives will go through a mental illness or a disorder. Okay, we're that's the human experience. So basically, these symptoms that manifested themselves through me were um, hyper consciousness. Like I'm someone who's extremely aware and conscious of every single thing that happens at any moment, anywhere. I just like tap into whichever energy is happening. I'll see a situation, I'll witness something, and I'll know exactly what's going on and the reason behind it. And same with people. I can just like scope and gauge anyone I meet in an instant. I'll know their entire life story in an instant, and it's just I'll feel whatever they're feeling, and I'll just understand every single thing about them, and that's anyone ever. So that's been super overwhelming to deal with, but I finally figured it out. And then also intensity, which of course is passion, and it's this intensity as passion that's gotten me to be able to say that at 32 years old I have two full length records that are I have under my belt, that I fully produced by myself, and that I was able to manage these two projects along with everything else, like the tour that I planned by myself, the 12 city tour I planned by myself back in 2014. That was like and then yeah, all this drive that I've had. I'm a very goal oriented person. I'm a very driven person. One of my top goals actually in my life was to be able to finally master who I am and just be able to stop going to therapy. And finally it's happened. So, and I couldn't have achieved that if I wasn't so goal driven and, dedicated to just finally making it happen, finally stop working at getting better and just being better. So, yeah, after 14 years, I'm finally, on the next level here. Um, so, to anyone who's struggling with anything, just know that the most important thing you can do for yourself is just become the best place you can be for yourself, become the best person you'll ever be with, because in the end, you're by yourself always, you're with yourself always, and know that any situation that you find yourself in, or any conflict or problem or negativity, always start with yourself. Always ask yourself, what do I learn out of this? What can I do to not go through this for myself? You know, what do I have to change in myself? What do I have to fix in myself so as to not experience that anymore? It all starts with you. It all starts with you. So whichever way works for you, that you can be able to just, you know, find time where you're with yourself, and that you're, you know, some people will do yoga, some people will meditate, some people will just, it'll be a moment where you're like writing music, or just writing words, or, you know, some people it's at the gym, or whichever, climbing a mountain, whatever. Whichever time that you can find to just be with yourself is the best time that you can ask these questions to yourself, so as to become the best person you can be, and just reconcile everything that's in you. I wrote this in a past blog. We are physical, mental, and spiritual, and you have to make a point of working on the three, and just making the three that which makes you whole and complete, and being able to master everything that you are. So that leads me to announcing that I've started writing a book, and finally, it's something I've been needing to do for like as long as I can remember. And finally, I'm able to have the time and the energy to start to write. So I started. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's happening, and I'm going to be sharing my story. Yeah, so I'm really, really happy about this. So yeah, stay put for that. And last thing that's really cool for me to share with you as well is that this coming week, my new album, Original Game, will be available on Spotify, iTunes, and pretty much everywhere else on the internet. So you'll be seeing these links go by in my social media. I'll be making a point of sharing, you know, help me spread the big news by sharing as well. And anyone who's been waiting for the albums to be on iTunes to buy it, you'll be able to get it there. Anyone who's been waiting for my music to be on Spotify, it'll happen at that point. So yeah, it's going to be happening this week early on. So I love you. Please, you know, write me a little message if you've got anything to share. And yeah, I really love you. Life is just amazing. Trust yourself that when you dedicate yourself to becoming the best person you can be for yourself, and becoming the best place inside you can be for yourself, it'll happen. Commit to self-love. Commit to figuring out what that means. It took me a really long time to figure out what that means. Don't give up on yourself. Just love, 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 love.